as we pursue our ambitions while raising our children, while taking care of our children, we also become role models for our children. We also become the first woman. And I always say this, that we are the first role models that our children see before they go outside and look for role models for themselves. And so what are we modeling for them? What are we modeling for them? That's a big question. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dairy Mom podcast. My name is Diana Addae. I am the founder of the Dairy Mom. We inspire, educate, and empower mothers who may be struggling to reclaim their dreams or who may have temporarily set aside their ambitions due to the demands of motherhood. On the Dairy Mom podcast, we bring you powerful stories from audacious mothers around the world who defy societal expectations and harness their strength to juggle both roles of motherhood and the pursuit of their personal and professional ambitions successfully. Today, I am going to continue with my monologue series. On our previous monologue, I took the time to explain to you what inspired me to start the Dairy Mom brand. What we are bringing to you in the coming weeks, I explained our mission statement, our vision statement, and what to expect. Today, I am going to talk to you about the significance of our brand logo. I'm sure for most of you, you may have come across our logo, which is a woman who is looking into the future, standing on her high heels. There's a staircase behind her that represents, growth. She climbing up. And the most important part of that image is the child that the woman is holding next to her. The hands of the child that she's holding. So the woman is looking into the future and she's holding the hand of her child. But something that is not really common is the fact that the child is looking in the opposite direction from the mother. Now, we may all have experienced or seen that when a mother and a child is posted, online, or we can see it online, most of the times what we see is the mother is holding the child's hands, but they're both facing the same direction, so they're going. But for the Dairy Mom brand, our logo shows a mother who is looking into the future very ambitiously on her heels, and she's holding the hands of her child, but her child is facing the opposite direction. And so how do you explain this? What is the meaning? Why did we come up with this representation? And what does it stand for? And so I'm here today to take my time to explain what that means to you. And our tagline, as most of you may have heard, is defying the odds. Defying the odds. So as part of our logo, we are defying the odds. This is not the typical thing that you see. We are defying the odds. So let's dive right in. Our design, with the child facing the opposite direction from their mother, symbolizes several meaningful concepts, especially in this context where we are talking about the Dairy Mom as a brand and the Dairy Mom podcast. So let's look into some of the concepts. So the first point is independence and growth. Usually we see that a mother that is pursuing her ambitions is going towards one direction. And the child, when you're raising your child, you realize that they are also in their own world. They are exploring their own world, the world around them. And most significantly, you realize that you as a mother, even before you became a mother, you were an individual. You were an individual with purpose. You were an individual. You were a woman with purpose. You were a woman with goals, with aspirations. You had your own existence. Whatever your dreams were, your ambitions were, your full personality, your whole personality, you are a whole human being on your own. And your child is also, a human being on their own. Now, both of you, even though that child is your child, both of you have different journeys in life. My interests may not be the same interest as that of my child. I may be interested in the sciences. I am an engineer. I am working towards, other things that are of interest to me. But my child may not necessarily grow up to become an engineer like me. She has her own interests. She has her own path. And I have, for me in particular, I have taken notice of that. She loves art. She loves playing, with her hands. She likes building stuff with her hands. She likes music. It's not like I don't like it. I love music. I love music, but I have no idea when I sit behind a piano, I don't know what to do with it. Like, I have no idea what the keys are. But for my daughter, as little as at age 4, she could play the piano so well. She could play the xylophone so well. So in her own world, she's an individual on her own. Her journey is different from my journey. So for the logo that has the mother facing in one direction and the child facing the opposite direction is to signify that our lives as mothers may be different from our lives the lives that our children have. The purpose that we hold as mothers is different from the purpose that our children have in life. Their journeys are different from ours. And so when we get into the mode of motherhood and, wanting to do lots of things for our children, we want to remind ourselves that in as much as, we want to give our children the best of ourselves as mothers or as parents, we also matter. And we matter in the sense that we want to remind ourselves that we have our own journeys. We have our own dreams. We have our own aspirations. And so whilst we do our best for our kids, we shouldn't neglect ourselves. We shouldn't let go of our dreams. We shouldn't give up on ourselves because we have our own purpose in life. We have our own vision in life. We have our own path, and our children also have their own path. But we are not going to go without them. We are not going to grow and pursue our dreams and pursue our ambitions and leave them behind. And that is why the mother is still holding the hands of the child. Even though she's looking into the future, even though she's dreaming, even though she's growing, even though she's pursuing her path, she understands that as an individual, she needs to grow. She needs to fight for her future so that she can secure the future for her children. The children also know that their mother working towards, building something for them in the future, for themselves in the future, also has a significant positive impact on their own lives, because they are going to grow up and realize that, oh, my mother did this. I saw my mother pushing through. I saw my mother pursuing her ambitions. I saw my mother, taking care of me, but at the same time, she was taking care of her. I saw my mother, taking care of herself. She was looking great all the time. And so I am also going to do it. I saw my mother pursuing, this degree and that degree, even though it was difficult for her, she was still pursuing her ambition so that she could find herself in a better position and give me a better life. And so I am also going to do that. And so as we pursue our ambitions while raising our children, while taking care of our children, we also become role models for our children. We also become the first woman. And I always say this, that we are the first role models that our children see before they go outside and look for role models for themselves. So what are we modeling for them? What are we modeling for them? That's a big question. So one significant, one of the very significant concepts that this design of our logo represents is independence and growth. It signifies that while the mother is a guiding force, the child is also exploring the world and developing their own path. So that is number one. So that represents independence and growth. So as a mother, as I work towards my ambitions, I'm studying for my professional exams, I'm doing this, I'm starting a business, I'm doing that. For me is growth. But a child is also in their own world. They are very independent. They are building stuff, they are learning, they are exploring their world. They are also growing. So as we grow with them. As we grow with them. And the fact that we are looking in opposite direction means that, that child is also learning to become independent. They are learning to find their own space in the world in which they find themselves. And they are growing. That's number one. Number two, the fact that the duo are still holding hands. It represents support and trust. Now the mother looking into the future, and still holding the child's hands while the child is turning away represents that trust and the support that the mother provides. The child knows that my mother is pursuing her dreams, but my mother hasn't left me behind. My mother is still there. The mother knows that I am not going to leave my child. I'm not going to pursue all of the dreams that I have. I'm not going to work towards all the things that I love and leave my child behind. I am still going to be there to support my child with every help that they need. So if my child needs help with school stuff, I am there for my child. My child needs anything with homework, I'm there for my child. I am making sure that my child is well taken care of, whilst I am also taking care of myself. And so the fact that they are still holding hands, even though they are turning in both directions, it means that the mother is still looking out for her child. And so it represents trust. It represents trust. And it gives the child that confidence. That it means that the mother is confident and strong. And it helps to build confidence in the mother from the child's angle, that my mother is still there for me. I trust that my mother will always be there for me. So that support is there. That trust is still there. So in as much as we both understand that we are both individual human beings, the children have their own independence. They are growing. We have our independence. We are growing. We are pursuing, our dreams, and we have different journeys. We are still holding hands, and that represents support and trust. Support and trust. So it allows the child to freely explore and learn, knowing that the mother will always be there to provide the support that they need. So the child is not bothered. The child is not bothered by the fact that the mother is pursuing their ambitions, because the child knows that the mother will always be there to support them. And the mother is not feeling like she's letting herself go. She's letting go of her ambitions, or her dreams, so that she can be able to support her child. No, the mother understands that her journey is different from her child's journey, and so she still pursues her own journey and pursues her path, so that she's fulfilled in herself as a woman, as an individual, as a human being, and then as a mother. And at the same time, she's given her child all the support and the trust that the child needs to grow and thrive in their own world, as they also explore their own, independence, and they explore the world around them. So those are two things. The third one represents the third significance of our logo is balancing roles. It signifies the fact that the mother is able to The mother is striving to find balance between nurturing her children and pursuing, her own goals. That's what it also means. So we've understood that we have different paths. We are facing different directions. We have different paths. Myself and my child, we're facing different paths. But then the fact that I'm still holding my child's hands and still doing this, it means that it signifies, that act of balancing or striving to find a balance between the pursuit of my ambitions and nurturing my children, or my child. So that's what it means, right? So the mother is focused on her ambitions while the child is secure and confident enough to explore their surroundings. The fourth point is it's the symbol of protection. So the fact that the mother is looking forward and the child is looking away, but they are still holding hands, can be seen as a protective stance. So the mother is vigilant. The mother is looking into the future. The mother is forward looking. She's ensuring that she's providing a safe environment for her child to grow and explore. It's very important, because if as a mother you do not, sit down and plan and look into the future and try to, plan ahead for your kids, it means that, there's really no security or protection, for the future. So let's just say you're just going through life and you don't have any plans for the future. You haven't planned for what the future is going to look like, for your own self, for the future of your children. It means there's no security. The children have no security. They do not have anything to look forward to. It's like it's a blurry future. You're just going, and that can be a very, slippery slope. But when the mother is forward looking and she's working towards, a steady future and a stable, finding, a stable environment for her children, it ensures that her children have a safe environment, to grow in and to explore and to become who they also envision, themselves to be in the future. They have a sound mind because they know that their future is secured. They know that, the mother is preparing something better for them. So there's a better future that they have to look forward to, and they have something very, very something of a higher value, to expect as they grow older, into becoming adults. And the fifth one is the fifth significance of our logo is journeying together. The fact that the mother is looking into the future, she's forward looking, and she's holding the hands of her child, and the child is also facing the opposite direction. It means that despite the fact that they have different journeys, the mother has one journey, the child has another journey that they're all living on, or they're all exploring their own parts. We're still holding our hands together. It means we are still journeying together. We may be going in different directions, but we are still going together. We are still growing together. We are still journeying together. And you see that the child is still very close to the mother. It means that our journeys are intertwined. That's what it means. Our journeys are intertwined. My child cannot grow up without me. And so when my child needs help, I am there. When my child needs anything, I'm making sure that I'm providing it for her, so that her journey or her growth becomes smooth for her. And whilst I do that, I also make sure that I'm making good provision for myself and ensuring that my own future is secured. So our futures are intertwined. And so the mother's strength and direction provide a foundation for the child's exploration and growth. And so we need all of these things. So the first one, as I'm highlighting it, is independence. independence and growth. The second is support and trust. The third is balancing roles. The fourth is symbol of protection, and the fifth is journey together. These are the 5 pillars, and these are the things that our brand logo represents. And I'm going to jump into our colors. What do our colors represent? Why did we choose all the colors that you see in that logo? And before we get there, so I'm going to just wrap up with, why the mother is looking into the future, wearing her heels, looking into the future, she's daring, and the child is facing the opposite direction, but still holding on to him. So that design, it evokes a sense of dynamic interaction between the mother and the child, highlighting themes of empowerment, growth, and mutual support, which align well with our mission and vision. And this is the Dairy Mom brand logo. I'm going to quickly switch or pivot to the colors in our logo. What do they mean? So if you look at that logo, we have turquoise, we have orange, we have pink, we have green. So 4 different colors all mixed up together, coming to form the beautiful logo that we see. And our primary colors, I will say, I love turquoise, and I really love turquoise. It's something, it's a color that brings me calm, and so in trying to find colors, I made sure that turquoise is fully represented in the logo, and I chose turquoise because it represents calmness and clarity. Turquoise represents calmness and clarity, so it is often associated with calmness and clarity and serenity. And this evokes a sense of peace and tranquility, which is very important for mothers that are trying to juggle, the roles of nurturing their children and the pursuit of their lives. You need clarity, you need peace, you need a sound mind to be able to do this. If there's too much chaos around you, it becomes very difficult for you as a mother to focus. And so turquoise represents calmness, clarity, and that is what we all need. The other color is pink, and pink represents compassion. Pink represents compassion and nurturing. And pink is commonly associated with compassion, nurturing, and love, and it represents the caring and nurturing aspect of motherhood. Pink also represents empowerment and femininity. Femininity. So pink symbolizes empowerment and femininity, and that aligns with the Dairy Mom podcast's focus on strong, ambitious mothers. Strong, ambitious mothers. Let me go back again. Let me go back quickly to the color turquoise. I forgot one thing. Turquoise also represents communication and growth. It stands for communication and growth. So that is linked to the Dairy Mom podcast's aim to share stories and foster a supportive community for mothers. The next color that you see is orange. Now, what does orange stand for? Orange signifies energy and enthusiasm. Orange is a vibrant color, and it is also very energetic, and it conveys enthusiasm, creativity, and determination. It reflects the ambitious and daring spirit of mothers that are featured in the Dairy Mom podcast. Again, orange also represents warmth and positivity. The color brings a sense of warmth and positivity, creating an inviting and uplifting atmosphere. And there's one other very, very, very important meaning to the orange, to the color orange. You realize that it's usually used to represent safety it's like a safety color, like you see on the roads. If there is warning, you see maybe like an orange color and all that. So if it throwing that in here, it represents like warning and also safety, because if it's warning you that be careful, maybe there's something bad here on this road, and it's an orange color, it also trying to provide the safety that you need on the road to be safe. And it's not just on the road, it's on almost like several places, but for the most part we see them, on roads and all that, the usual color orange. So it represents that, hey, there's danger somewhere, watch it, but it's also trying to make sure that you are safe. So throwing that in here, in the Dairy Mom brand logo, it's telling you that, hey, watch it, motherhood, there's a little bit of roughness on the road. Watch it. That's why we are here. Like, there are challenges in there. There are significant challenges that can impact one's aspirations. It's not a smooth path. So it's kind of giving you that heads up, like, hey, be careful. But it's also trying to protect you, because for instance, a podcast like this, where we aim to share our stories to bring awareness to some of the challenges that motherhood poses to our careers, our aspirations, our dreams, and our vision in life. It is also informing us so that we can better prepare ourselves for this journey, so that we can we can plan very well before we make that decision to go into it, because it is also beautiful. Motherhood is a very beautiful journey. It's a very rewarding journey. I have always loved it since I became a mother. But it's important that we put all of this information out there so that we are aware. So that is one other important thing that I wanted to touch on. And then finally, the color green. So the color green, I love green. I love green. I love green, and I love turquoise. Those two colors are like, they do it for me. So those are colors that give me life. It gave me life. So the color green, it signifies growth and renewal. So when the mother is pursuing her ambitions, she's growing. She's learning. I've seen mothers who are pregnant and they are studying for their masters. They have to go to classes. Yes, they are pregnant. It's difficult. They've just had a baby. A baby is on their lap. One mother that I know, she was a day before she went into labor, she was still behind her PC trying to submit her assignment and all that. Like, it signifies growth. She's growing. She's stretching herself. She's learning. I've seen mothers pushing through. So the color green thrown in there represents that growth, because as the mother is looking into the future and she's pursuing her dreams and she's trying to get it right, the child is also growing. So both of us are growing. I am growing. My child is growing. My child is exploring their world. They're learning new things. I'm giving her all the support and trust that she needs, while I'm also trying to, push myself into the future. And both of them represents growth, and it's renewal, because I am going to renew the state that I find myself. I'm going to grow into a better person. My child is also going to grow into a better person. And so it represents, the color green thrown in there represents growth, renewal, and vitality. Like I said, for me, the color green, it gives me life. So that's vitality. And that symbolizes the personal and professional growth that mothers experience as they pursue their goals. And it also represents balance and harmony. So green represents balance and harmony, and that is very crucial for mothers who are trying to strive a balance, who are striving to balance their ambitions with their roles as mothers or caregivers. And so this all of these coming together represents our brand, the Dairy Mom brand. So the combined meaning, these colors create a vibrant and dynamic palette that reflects the multifaceted nature of motherhood. The combination of calmness, compassion, energy and growth encapsulates the essence of the Dairy Mom brand. And after Dairy Mom podcast, we have the Dairy Mom podcast, we have the Dairy Mom blog. And so the Dairy Mom as a brand, all of these things, the calmness, the compassion, the energy, the growth, all of that, is encapsulated in the brand logo. And these celebrate mothers who defy the odds and pursue their dreams with confidence and ambition. So there you have it. I hope you were able to grab some meaning and understanding as to why we chose that particular logo, why we designed our logo the way it looks like, and why we picked the colors that we picked. It all represents something beautiful. The staircase you see behind the mother represents, she climbed it up, towards something. And all the greenery you see, the plants, like you see, I have a plant next to me. I really love it. It represents growth. As I water my plants and I see it, growing so beautifully, it reminds me of, how I myself have to keep pouring into myself and into my child so that we can both, grow and flourish, and become vitalized and energized, for the journeys that we both find ourselves on. And so there you have it on today's monologue. I hope you really learned something from our logo. And the most important part is to remind ourselves as mothers that our journeys are different from that of our children. And so while we do our best to make sure that our children have their lives going well for them, we put in all the effort, we should also remember to put in the effort. Start that business that you want to start. Start something, whatever it is that you've been wanting to do for so long, but you keep putting away because of your children. Just get started and get all the support you need. Get all the help that you need. And take care of yourself whilst you take care of your children, so that in the future you do not sit down and tell yourself you're feeling empty because your children have grown up and they've left. Like I said in the previous monologue, you don't want to get to that point where your children have grown up and you've given them all they needed, but you ended up neglecting yourself. You forgot that your journey was different from that of your child. And so you neglected yourself, and, the kids have gone and they're living their lives. But then now you find yourself feeling empty. You don't want to do that. And so whilst you understand that our journeys are different, but we can grow together. We can hold each other's hands. We can be there for each other. I can give you the support you need as my child. I can do everything that you need, for you as my child. And of course, my child comes first. I need to make sure my child is safe and secure. But when I'm done, I need to also make sure that I am also, doing what I love. If it's that career, if it's going back to school, if it's picking up the application forms, if it's traveling, whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, but you've been waiting and pushing back, and just get started. Get it going. And do it as you do it. Do it with your kids. Do it with them. And create the memories together. Make it fun, And so we hope that through this podcast, through the Dairy Mom podcast, as we share our stories, we write, on our blog, and you read them, you'll probably find one or two words of inspiration from somebody, from a mother somewhere, who probably might have experienced the challenges that you are experiencing, that if you are holding you back from achieving your dreams while taking care of your children. You probably might find what to do. Maybe some resources will be shared, something that you need to hear that can inspire you to get started on what you've been putting on hold for so long. This is the essence of the Dairy Mom. We are creating that global community that helps mothers from all over the world. And with time, as we go along, we'll bring in other interesting topics that, addresses, the challenges of mothers from different parts of the world who may not necessarily have all of the luxury that it takes to push themselves forward. How do we support mothers like that? How do we find that help, for mothers? How do we get to that point? So it's not only going to be success stories. We have to go to the extent of actually identifying problems, what's stopping mothers, what's holding us back, and then finding ways that we can get the resources from different organizations, and then putting our voices out there for mothers who are in war-torn countries that can have, the kind of comforts or the basic needs that they need to be able to get themselves up. We want to look out for all mothers globally through this platform, and so join me as I do this, and like I always say, if you have a story and you want to share, feel free, reach out to me on all of my social media platforms. Our website, thediarymom.com, is launching very soon. We are bringing you interesting stories on the website. When the website launches, I'm going to walk you through what you can do the moment you launch into the website. You see various stories posted by different mothers. You'll be able to enter a very simple form if you want to share your story, or if you want to come on the podcast. It's all there for you. You see very interesting things. We hope to launch very soon. We are still getting things ready in the back end. So just take your time. I know a lot of people are anticipating it, and I can't wait to launch the website, but it's coming very soon. And so we want to thank you all for your time. You can find me on Instagram. I am the Dairy Mom. I am _the Dairy Mom. Facebook, the Dairy Mom. YouTube, the Dairy Mom. LinkedIn, the Dairy Mom. And all the podcast series are going to be posted on the other major podcast platforms as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of them. They're going to be on our main page, YouTube. And so tell a friend to tell a friend. The Dairy Mom is getting started, and it is getting very interesting. I am going to be sending you monologues like this, and very soon I'm going to start sharing with you episodes from guest interviews. So don't go anywhere. Stay right here with me. So as I close out, I want to remind you again that my name is Addae. I am the founder of the Dairy Mom. And as I always ask, what is your hashtag? The Dairy Mom story. You have a story to share. Come share with us. Let's learn from your story. What is your hashtag? The Dairy Mom story. Join me and let's do this together. My name is Addae, and I am the Dairy Mom.